Okay, so hashtag force the vote was literally taken out of the DSA's manifesto on how to pressure politicians. Pushing a floor vote in the House not only tests the political strength of the movement to make that happen, it also sends the bill to the Senate, calling the question there. Now a Democratic Senate. A floor vote in the House will force representatives to finally reveal whether they're on the side of healthcare profiteers or on the side of the working class. We know Medicare for all won't be a reality under Trump, but a House floor vote is the best which side are you on political opportunity in 2019 and sets the stage to make Medicare for all the decisive issue of 2020.
What is up, Osiris? Stuck in the middle here with you. A lot going on right now. I have changed my mind on hashtag force the vote. Thank you for listening. Let's do this. The block is hot right now. I feel like I should be out in these streets yelling 5-0, 5-0. Like, I've had videos taken down with no explanation. I know I'm talking about some taboo stuff, but I don't think I'm the most controversial person out there. Social media companies are handing out permabans like they're candy at Halloween to some of the most powerful people in this world. So I was texting my brother, I'm not going to hold my breath on getting an explanation so I can make adjustments on these videos. So I had to take some time. People are out here, if you watch a lot of YouTubers who talk about political stuff, they're out here using code, avoiding words, stumbling over their words. It's crazy. Don't get me wrong. Nothing's illegal about it. You just have to get better. Unless the laws change, this is the game. You got to learn how to play it. They have the right to do the great purge. I have now joined Jimmy Dore's hashtag force the vote. It is time for me to switch and change. There is no excuse for me not to. I was wrong on some previous videos. There's no excuse for our representatives who are progressive in nature, who are in Congress to fight for people first. There's no excuse at this moment for them not to do that. So on the videos that I made that were against force the vote, I have an analytical background, so I like to dig into things. But what I want this channel to be about is people first and big picture. So dig into the little things, put the puzzle pieces together, then bring the big picture. That's where I failed on those previous votes, and I got feedback from the people. Thank you for that feedback. And I do now agree. Digging into the little nuances of the political game and what would happen if you did this, no. The whole point is you are there to put people first, not this nonsense. And what I'm talking about now is the impeachment stuff. It is showing us they have the House, Senate, and soon to be president. They should be setting up their agenda right now. If they think this is more important than setting up their agenda, impeaching the president a second time when he has days left in office, your priorities are wrong. I want this channel to be about people. Whether you're MAGA, whether you're progressive left, whether you're comfortable with the establishment, much respect to everyone and their perspectives. But I want to put that where you are as a person over this nonsense in DC. So what should be the number one thing? Right now, we have economic and health that are the top two issues. And the health issue overlaps with the economy issue that we have. There is no question Medicare for all should be the number one priority. Will it happen? I don't know. That's not the point. That's what they should be fighting for right now. So I called what's happening right now the Great Purge. The establishment group, this is establishment left and right. To define establishment, I mean people like Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, Mike Pence, Hakeem Jeffries. Those are establishment people. And there's some establishment people I do like. Amy Klobuchar, she's establishment, respect her, like her. Joe Biden, establishment. I don't like him as much, but he's establishment. All of them, left or right establishment. What's happening is, we've talked about this. We have populist right, we have populist left, and we have establishment. You lump establishment R and D together for one group. So you've got three groups going on right now in our country, basically the world too. So what's happening is the Republicans have lost control of their populist group, often referred to as MAGA. They've lost complete control of them. MAGA is out of control, and as far as the establishment goes, I'm not knocking MAGA. I'm just saying they are a rogue group within the Republican Party. When you look at the Democrat side, what I'm seeing is, this is what Jimmy pointed out. Again, I was wrong. Sorry. Sue me. I was wrong. Jimmy pointed out these progressives are siding with the establishment. They're neutered. So this purge is focusing on the rebels, on the populist right. For the most part right now, it's purging that populist right. The populist left, they're proving not to be the disruptors we expected them to be. So at some point, they're going to have to prove that. It's not over yet, but they're not proving it at this moment. And that's why they're not getting squashed. And that's why we need them. Jimmy Dore, I give him credit for this. He's speaking out against it. We need, AOC actually is speaking out in favor of the purge of Parler. This is the Twitter-like app where more conservatives were going. This is a mistake because if they purge the populist right, if the populist left, the progressives, are the disruptors we need them to be, they are the next people who will be purged. And we need AOC and progressives to step up and say, I don't agree with this group, but we can't have them destroyed because they're going to destroy us the same way, or use the threat of destroying us to keep us in line, lockstep with the establishment. That means no Medicare for all. Big Pharma does not want that. They are big donors to the establishment. They are the establishment. This is the second time that Congress is wasting time focusing on an impeachment of Donald Trump. The first time it happened, I was particularly pissed off because as we learned later on in the summer and the spring, while they were doing impeachment, that's when a sickness that we haven't seen in a long time was coming over to us in the U.S. And after we found out that it was coming over at the same time that Democrats were focusing on impeachment, Democrats did nothing but blame Donald Trump. Blame Donald Trump. He's the president. He should be blamed for a poor response. But you take responsibility too. We have equal branches of government. That means Congress can do their own legislation, their own commission, their own recommendation on how to respond federally. Just like the president can, Congress can. And they didn't. They dropped the ball just as much as Trump did. Willie Geist asked Nancy Pelosi about this. And of course, nobody on the left held her accountable for a ridiculous answer.
Do you believe that you all in Congress should have moved quicker? Do you take any responsibility for the slow response?
No, not at all. We have, first of all, we had hoped that there would be leadership from the White House because the president has to sign the bill. But we've had, as I say, three very strong.
Now, here we are again. We are in economic and health despair for many. And instead of focusing on that, they're focusing on the second impeachment, which is absolutely about politics. They said it themselves. They don't want, if they impeach Trump, he can't run again. That's politics. I don't give a damn if he's running again or not. Put people first. What, you can't beat him if he runs again? Is that where we're at? You're that afraid of him that you have to impeach him so he can't run again? He's still going to have influence. He's 75 years old. Who knows if he's even going to run again? So the influence that he would have to help his daughter or whoever else to run, he'll still have that even if he's impeached. This makes no sense. And so the progressive left are so lost and attached to the establishment, they have allowed Republicans in the House to take the moral high ground and say, why don't we put people first? Literally during the debates, they're allowing Republicans to say that. Why are we doing impeachment? Why don't we put people first? They're allowing them to have that position because they're not doing it. Listen to Cori Bush.
Madam Speaker, St. Louis and I rise in support of the article of impeachment against Donald J. Trump. If we fail to remove a white supremacist president who incited a white supremacist insurrection, it's communities like Missouri's 1st District that suffer the most. The 117th Congress must understand that we have a mandate to legislate in defense of Black lives. The first step in that process is to root out white supremacy, starting with impeaching the white supremacist in chief. Thank you, and I yield back.
Stop with the white supremacist nonsense. That's not productive. All I hear from Democrats is we can walk and chew gum at the same time. They all say that like robots. It's a common talking point. But when Cori Bush has a chance and she steps up there and has 3 minutes or whatever it is to respond, she doesn't do it. Why doesn't she say, hey, we want to do impeachment. Let's go forward with it. But my focus is this. I came here for this, and this. Nope, none of it. Here's what Elizabeth Warren, proclaimed progressive, said a little bit over a year ago about the monopoly of big tech. What I'm learning here is you have to be consistent. So what does that mean? Not trying to divide us. Here's an example of progressives dividing us. Unfortunately, Pramila Jayapal, she got that sickness, and I hope she recovers well. But after she gets the sickness, she literally turns that moment into a political divide.
High time that these Republicans took it seriously.
She has no idea where she got it. That's irresponsible. We had Representative Gwen Moore test positive 6 days before she showed up in person to vote for the Speaker of the House on January 3rd. Did you have a problem with that? Be consistent. You know what happens when you're not consistent and you play these political games that both sides are doing? What happens is, at some point, you end up arguing for the exact same thing that will destroy your cause. Take care.